Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Cyrus Renault was trying to get Lulu Spencer out of town. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Lulu Spencer is ready to face some harsh revelations. Lulu recently awoke from a coma she had been in for nearly 4 years. Lucky is only now realizing that she has been unconscious for much longer than she imagined. Seeing her little son, Rock of Falconary, will remind Lulu that she has a lot of time to make up for. Perhaps Lulu will start to remember what happened around her while she was unconscious. General Hospital spoilers, Cyrus Renault was trying to spirit Lulu Spencer out of town. Lulu had lately been relocated to Turning Woods, a facility where Cyrus Renault had been helping. Cyrus has been by Lulu's bedside frequently since before she required a liver transplant. There is no telling what Cyrus may have revealed to Lulu because he did not expect she would ever wake up. Lulu had previously had a flashback to a time before her coma when Cyrus threatened her life. GH spoilers, Lulu Spencer had no idea that Cyrus Renault is her uncle. However, Cyrus may have admitted to more current stuff as well. For some reason, Cyrus is determined to send Lulu even further out of state. Perhaps it's because he recently confessed to Sam McCall's murder when Lulu was still out. She might not even aware she has that memories inside her. And that is most likely how Cyrus wants to keep it. General Hospital spoilers, Sam McCall died after donating a portion of her liver. Lulu will soon discover that Sam McCall was her liver donor and that she died while recovering after a successful transplant surgery. Sam was given a medicine called Digitalis, which caused a deadly heart attack. At the moment, it appears that Elizabeth Weber made a mistake. However, Lulu may have a different perspective. If Cyrus wants to avoid prison, he may have to quiet his own niece or face prosecution for Sam's murder. GH spoilers, what do you think? Did Cyrus admit to Lulu that he had slain Sam? Is this why he was so determined to move Lulu out of state? Would Cyrus kill his own niece in order to avoid prison? Anything can happen in Port Charles, so stay tuned to General Hospital, which airs weekdays on ABC. Dormbound Dex and Josh finally kissed. It may not have been exciting, but it was welcome. She clearly preferred having him stripped and locked in her bed for days over any other experience in years. It was similar to the early Harlequins, when a nurse would gradually fall for one of the many mostly naked and handicapped men under her care. Once Dex was mobile enough to no longer be an underutilized sex toy, he zipped up and went back to work for Sunny, leaving Joss in store for another non-lecture from her mother about being more like her. I feel awful for Cam, of course, but it was unavoidable. Joss's transformation from one of the offspring of the Corn to a Carly clone means that any male who falls close with her is doomed. Oscar definitely got off lightly. Another thing I can say about Joss and Dex is that they are not Carly and Drew. They've both moved on from their wild and risky days, into the never-ending stream of pep talks and affirmations that make up their very long but far from breathless love. Sunny's irritation with her involving Brick in her newest pranks is about as exciting as this has gotten, but it was about as hot as the steamless soup that Carly nearly poured on Nina during their most recent dispute before pulling away from any drama. Carly has recently focused on avoiding controversy, which is unusual for her. Although she and Drew will probably end up kicking themselves and causing some conflict when the truth about Willow's biological mother is out, I'm not sure it will be enough of a payoff. Carly and Nina trashing each other is entertaining, but it has its limitations. So far, the Cassadine plot has lacked the insane lunacy of previous installments. As much as I admire Victor, he is more of an elegant and cruel pervert than a truly insane megalomaniac like Stavros and the rest. However, I am still hoping that this will move in a new path rather than another rehash of their failed ideas for global dominance. Victor forced Holly General Hospital recaps and spoilers. I normally root for the baddies, but I'd have a hard time rooting for Laura and her gang. They may not have the James Bond level villainy of the Cassadines, but they lack the fun that comes with being their counterpoint. With the exception of Robert and Holly, they are a group of highly corrupt and pompous individuals who lack style and sense of humor. Holly knows Robert moved heaven and earth General Hospital opinion soapbox soap spoilers. Meanwhile, Anna and Valentine have a gothic romance meets spy movie thing from their history that is rarely mentioned, and it has vanished like the bullet scars that characters who have been wounded thousands of times should display. With the Cassadines and Feds on Devane's trail since she fled, hearing Olivia Jerome's name mentioned was a pleasant surprise, and it would be a pleasure to see her tear Anna down again, especially after their rather disappointing last battle with that wet designer sock Dr. Monroe in the middle. Vanna Ring General Hospital soap spoilers. Brit's swan song. We've known Kelly Thibault was going to leave for months, and the most likely reason was sickness. I'm still hopeful that this isn't another one of those stories and that it takes an unexpected turn, sending her off in a more memorable way. Given the specter of the cursed jewels, this remains a possibility. Brit cough is worse in General Hospital opinion. Soapbox soap spoilers. It's easy to feel bad for Brit, but given that she's been written as a shell of the character she once was since her return, it feels more like a metaphor for what they did to one of the show's great villainesses in recent years. Albrecht has also lost weight and lightened her hair to reflect this. The Hook story has lost some momentum. When it is not visible on screen, I tend to forget about it. No one appears to be very threatened. Hook killer tries to kill Nicholas. Perhaps it's because the program constantly feels like it sprawls more than the others, but it struggles to maintain tension. Heather's brief but welcome arrival raised some doubts about who the Hook might be. Finn was also questioning if she was involved, considering that she had traces of the unusual poison used. There aren't many other reasons to bring Heather back, however some have speculated that she could be linked with whatever Austin is up to. I know a lot of people have been upset by the rewriting of Liz and Finn's pasts, the devastation of her parents' characters, and, most importantly, how little sense all of this makes. After all, for the timeline to be even remotely credible, Finn must be in his 60s, and Liz is not only from a different generation, but he had sex with her sister and his wife was her father's mistress. While all of this has the potential to be amusing, I have a feeling it will be forgotten. It makes me wonder how much they will bother rewriting Dante's background now that it has been intimated that he and Cody were involved in something questionable, if not plain nasty, as kids. Will this be used as another attempt to give Cody dimension, a bitter secret that if revealed will tilt Dante back into another psychotic episode, or something more unexpected? Unlike many viewers, I am not opposed to ludicrous rewriting as long as it leads someplace. BLQ's deal with the devil. After months of avoiding the issue, Link eventually offered Brooke Lynn the opportunity to reclaim her songbook in exchange for her covering for his previous sexual harassment. Brooke Lynn will most certainly wind up double-crossing Link, but this will only exacerbate Chase's problems. I know a lot of fans enjoy Brooke Lynn and Chase, but I've always found their slow Hallmark movie-style romance dull. Sasha and Willow have it out, Brennan fears for Carly's safety, and Tracy plots with Cody. Last week was a difficult week for everyone in Port Charles who knew and loved Sam, as well as her many fans. This week, Sam's family begins the long grieving process, with Alexis making a specific request of her surviving kids. We hope she asks for politeness between the two. Do you think Molly and Christina will bury the hatchet? Meanwhile, Robert and Holly continue to confront the past and what could have been before she is rejected. Can these two ever work together, or are there too many lies between them? And Jason is put in an uncomfortable situation when Carly's future is at stake. In the weekly spoiler video, Sam's family and friends deal with her death, Michael experiences another shock, Sidwell arrives for his jewels, and an explosion rattles the city. Sam's loved ones are reeling at the news of her death. Robert and Holly recall their past. Sonny lends his support to Dante. Alexis has a request for Christina and Molly. GH recap, females grieve Sam. ABC, General Hospital spoilers on Tuesday, November 5th, Sasha and Willow had an argument. Christina is shocked. Ava offers an apology. Carly is stunned. Jason and Diane had a heart-to-heart. Sasha Gilmore and Willow Tate's once strong friendship takes an abrupt turn when Willow confronts Sasha about her pregnancy and the developing misunderstandings around Michael. You should have just told me the truth, Sasha, Willow charges. Instead, I've been sitting here wondering if my husband has been keeping secrets from me. Sasha, overcome by her own troubles, fires back. Do you think this is about you? I'm trying to keep my baby safe while still keeping my life together. The last thing I need is for you to assume the worst. The argument turns heated as both women express their frustrations. Sasha lashes out, accusing Willow of being overly protective of Michael, while Willow responds that Sasha's secret has put an unneeded pressure on everyone. As her emotions settle, Sasha tells the truth about her high-risk pregnancy and the dangers she's been receiving. Willow softens as she realizes the severity of Sasha's pain. I didn't know, Willow admits gently. I'm sorry. The two ladies reach a tentative peace, but their friendship remains weak as they deal with the aftermath. Brennan fears for Carly's safety. Carly Spencer becomes the victim of veiled threats after getting involved in the simmering confrontation between Drew, Valentine, and the Pikeman security group. Former WSB agent Brennan overhears a concerning chat between Pikeman operatives and quickly informs Sonny Corinthos. They're not just after Drew, Brennan says. They see Carly as leverage, and they're not afraid to use her. Sonny's protective instincts kick into overdrive. No one messes with my family, he growls, ordering additional security for Carly and the children. However, Carly is resistive to the measures. I've handled myself just fine all these years, she says Sonny. I'm not going to live in fear because of Pikeman. But Brennan's warnings come true when Carly receives an anonymous message, stay out of this, or there will be consequences. The threat shakes Carly, but she remains resolute. She covertly hires Sam McCall to delve deeper into Pikeman's operations, vowing to find the truth and defend her family at any cost. Tracy plots with Cody. Tracy Quartermaine, ever the schemer, sees an opportunity in Cody Bell's recent dealings with the Spencer and Cassadine families. Tracy approaches Cody with this proposition. Tracy says, I need someone with your unique skill set, with implication in her tone. There's a certain matter involving ELQ that requires discretion, and perhaps a little finesse. Cody, apprehensive but interested, listens as Tracy explains her strategy to undermine Valentine Cassadine's hold over ELQ. She wants Cody to penetrate Valentine's inner circle as a neutral party and provide Tracy information that will tilt the scales in her favor. What's in it for me? Cody inquires, doubtful of Tracy's motives. Let's just say I have the resources to make your recent legal troubles disappear, Tracy says with a wicked grin. Cody hesitantly agrees, but he soon discovers he's in over his head as Tracy's plots get more dangerous. Cody's blossoming friendship with Sasha is tested as he struggles to match Tracy's demands with his own moral compass. Sasha and Willow's uneasy truce. The aftermath of Sasha and Willow's disagreement has strained their friendship. Despite both women's efforts to reconcile, residual tensions threaten to undermine years of mutual support and trust. Shared pain, different perspectives. Sasha is dealing with both a high-risk pregnancy and the mental wounds of recent experiences. She fights with the weight of concealment and survival, convinced that her poor judgments were required to save her future. Willow, who is still healing from her health crisis and dealing with the difficulties of her marriage to Michael, is taken aback by the prospect of betrayal, not just by her husband, but also by a friend she had implicitly trusted. Despite their peace, the emotional wounds of their dispute resurface after a fortuitous meeting at GH. You don't get it, Willow, Sasha says, as Willow shows concern. I've had to fight for every piece of my life back, and you judging me doesn't help. I wasn't judging you, Willow responds, her tone increasing. But I can't help feeling like you didn't trust me enough to let me in. The fight emphasizes their mutual pain, but it also reveals a misunderstanding of one other's hardships. A path to healing. The tipping point occurs when Sasha is hospitalized following a pregnancy scare. Willow, unable to stay away, pays her a visit and brings a tiny gift, a lavender plant, which represents calm and strength. I know we've both been through a lot, Willow adds, sitting by Sasha's bed. But I want to be here for you. If you will allow me. Sasha hesitates before eventually letting her defenses down. I've been quite terrified, Willow. Scared of losing everything, of becoming a burden. But I should not have pushed you away. The two women have a deep chat, resolving their issues and strengthening their connection. They agree to take things one day at a time, understanding that trust cannot be re-established overnight. Lingering challenges. even as they attempt to rebuild their friendship, other forces threaten to keep them apart. Michael's role. Willow's persistent misgivings about Michael's relationship with Sasha create underlying tension. Sasha's stalker. As Sasha's stalker becomes more aggressive, Willow's protective impulses clash with her desire for independence. Health risks. Sasha's pregnancy issues add a further layer of emotional pressure, putting their fragile ceasefire to test. Sasha and Willow's shared history is full of moments of trust, love, and mutual support, but whether it will be enough to mend their friendship depends on how they handle their differences in the future. Here's an overview of their dynamic and upcoming challenges. The strength of their bond. Sasha and Willow have a history of working through personal challenges together. Deception days. Their relationship at Deception strengthened their bond as they supported one another professionally and personally. Shared grief. Following Willow's son's death and Sasha's struggles with addiction and mental health, they developed a strong connection and shared a unique understanding of one another's grief. Michael's role. Both ladies had strong relationships to Michael, which initially drew them together but eventually caused potential conflict. These shared experiences have given them a foundation of trust that, while shaken, may still be strong enough to rebuild. Challenges. Lingering resentment. Willow is sad that Sasha did not confide in her, despite their close connection. Meanwhile, Sasha resents being assessed at one of her most vulnerable points in life. Willow still harbors anxieties about Michael, despite Sasha's assurance that he is not the father of her kid. External stressors. Sasha has a stalker and is pregnant at high risk. Willow's continued healing and her desire to have a strong marriage with Michael. The emotional impact of prior losses, which may reappear under stress. A potential path to healing. Acknowledge their pain. A heart-to-heart conversation in which both ladies really admit their anguish and regrets is essential. Sasha might share her concerns about burdening Willow, and Willow could admit to feeling alienated during Sasha's seclusion. To rebuild trust, it may be necessary to demonstrate genuine support for one another. Willow, for example, may attend Sasha to maternity checkups, and Sasha could provide emotional support when Willow recovers. Establishing appropriate limits requires mutual understanding between both women. Sasha may require room to address her issues on her own, whereas Willow must focus on detaching her insecurities from her friendships. Signs of hope. Flashbacks. The show may include tender flashbacks to their most memorable moments together, reaffirming why their relationship is worth surviving. A common enemy, such as Sasha's stalker, might unify them and remind them of their strength when they stand together. A new beginning. Sasha's pregnancy might represent a fresh start, enabling both women to let go of old grievances. But Christina refuses to recognize that she caused the accident by storming into Ava's hotel room and making angry demands and threats, so here we are. In a courtroom with Ava on trial, the only thing she did wrong was try to hide the fact that she was sleeping with a rogue FBI agent who went on to kidnap her a few weeks later. Watching Rick rip Christina apart on the stand was impressive, but hearing Christina cry about her baby in front of Molly and TJ made us want to throw things at the TV. How did TJ sit there, not wanting to do the same thing? Maybe he did, but it wasn't part of the script, so he couldn't. However, we truly need to know, where is the Metro Court pool? We were initially informed it was on the roof, then Christina fell through the window and into the pool. So we assumed there were two towers, and the pool was on the shorter one. Maybe? This week, we learned that Christina had fallen 3 stories, which we accepted. Then we learned she had fallen from a 3rd-story window. How did she manage to land in a pool that was supposed to be on the roof? Make sure it makes sense. Where has the other Molly gone? We're confident Molly is requesting the same thing. Make sure it makes sense. However, this Molly is not the same Molly from baby Irene's funeral, nor is she the Molly who spent the following 2 months bickering with her sister and shaming her all over Port Charles. No, Molly is doing exactly what she accuses Alexis of doing, coddling her hot mess of a big sister who was ready to grab her baby before diving into the pool. Even Molly realized quickly that Christina had caused her own fall, and Ava had not pushed her. Christina was still in the hospital, yelling and raving about big, terrible Ava, when Molly saw photos of the incident and realized right away that Christina was the aggressor during the confrontation. Molly is now concerned that Christina, the delicate flower, may fall apart if Ava is allowed to wander free. As a lawyer, Molly should not want someone in jail who she knows is innocent, but here we are. A story that abruptly shifts direction is typical of GH. Lulu's wonderful, enchanting journeys. Confused and bewildered. Lulu was the other emphasis over Thanksgiving week, with her medical science-defying recovery taking center stage. Merely a day after opening her eyes for the first time in 4 years, Lulu didn't merely lift her arm and get out of bed. She strolled right out of Turning Wood without being noticed, got to the side of the road, changed her clothes, and didn't become sick from a lollipop. After 4 years with a feeding tube and a brand new liver, you'd think all that sugar would bother her. But no, not our Lulu. As a trooper, she let herself into her house before making her way to the Quartermain estate and letting herself in the front entrance. Did Laura pay for high-tech physical therapy several times every day? If she didn't, we've concluded that Lulu is not human. That's the only explanation here. Let us suspend disbelief. Can we claim we are enjoying Lulu's recuperation now that we have dealt with the craziness of it? If you ignore all of the frivolous details, Lulu's voyage back home or wherever she ends up has been anything from boring. It was a short soap week, but Lulu accomplished a lot, and GH wasted no time in informing some of the most important people that she was back among the living. James met Aunt Lulu but didn't know who she was. However, if their scenes together are any indication, James and Lulu may make excellent sparring partners. Little Gary Fuller is the soap kid find of the decade, and he will undoubtedly give Spitfire Lulu a run for her money, just like he does for his mother, Maxie. Of course, our hearts warmed when beautiful Rocco discovered his mom standing in the Q living room. We had to watch the look of shock and excitement on his face over and over. It reminded us of when a teenage Lulu saw Laura for the first time after she awoke from her catatonic state. On Monday, Lulu learns that it is no longer 2020. For the majority of us, this is a positive thing. For Lulu, not so much. Cyrus, we like you now. Just a short shout out to Cyrus for putting Lucky in his place and exposing him for the scum that he is. We don't know what Cyrus is up to with Lulu, and we won't like him again if we find out he killed Sam. However, someone other than Elizabeth needed to tell Lucky the truth about his deadbeat ways. The expression on Elizabeth's face when Cyrus questioned Lucky's commitment to family told it all. Liz tried to calm things down, but Cyrus couldn't give her any information about where Lulu was. Lucky later got a piece of the Turning Woods camera video sent to his phone by email and watched it. After watching it together, Lucky and Liz were shocked to see that Lulu had woken up and left on her own. Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase fell in love more than once at the Quartermain farm as they tried to improve their chances of having a child. Brooklyn's look was unsettling, but Chase was excited about fatherhood and happy that they were experiencing this together for the first time. Then, on Wednesday's GH episode, Olivia Quartermain talked about how great it would be for Lois to have her first baby. But Lois seemed to be keeping a secret, just like Brooklyn. When Alexis Davis finally stood up and tried to stop Rick Lansing from bothering Christina Corinthos Davis while she was testifying, the judge said she would be held in contempt of court. Even though Alexis resisted a bit more, Sonny Corinthos finally led her away. Molly Lansing Davis predicted to TJ Ashford during a recess that Christina would never be able to forgive herself if Ava Jerome's acquittal was due to her own evidence. Soon after, Molly told Christina that her sister could go home now, but Christina refused. Natalia Ramirez got back on the stand when Rick played her 911 call and asked her to confirm that she had been in an accident with Christina. But Natalia cooked up a tale about being distracted by her daughter's SMS and lied that she was to blame for the accident. As Rick questioned Natalia, she tried her best to hide yet another instance of Christina's unstable behavior. A furious Christina went to face Ava about the subpoena because she wanted to protect Sonny after Rick forced Molly to confess while she was on the witness stand. Ava admitted to grasping Christina's arm before she jerked away, fell over the bag, and fell out the window during her statement. In order to keep the FBI agent she was interacting with out of this, Ava also admitted that she had traded the bag for shoes. Nevertheless, Ava exaggerated how she had lost a daughter and would never want anyone to experience that pain. Ava seems truly saddened by the loss of Christina's unborn child after apologizing for the way the face-off had gone. In closing remarks, Rick maintained that this was a terrible accident, but the ADA pressed for Ava to be found guilty of manslaughter. Molly looked to have changed her mind after the incident and told TJ that she thought this was a tragedy. According to General Hospital spoilers, Molly will need to process everything that has happened, so tune in for more drama. Updates and spoilers for Monday, December 2's episode of General Hospital hint to tense arguments, family reunions, and anxious moms. TJ Ashford and Molly Lansing Davis are having a heated argument, Laura Collins is in a panic, and Lulu Spencer is having a great time at a family reunion. Spoilers for General Hospital, preemptions and encore episodes. On Thanksgiving Day, which is tomorrow, fans can see the July 29, 2024 rebroadcast of the show. But college sports will take over Friday's schedule. While Trina Robinson continues to deal with her own set of problems, James Fuller starts to recognize the underlying familial conflicts in this encore episode. In the meantime, Dante Falconeri is faced with a moral conundrum, and Sasha Corbin tries to keep Cody Bell on track. In addition, Jason Morgan embarks on a new mission while Tracy Quartermaine gets an unexpected gift. GH spoilers, anxious moms. Laura is in a panic as she runs to Lucky Spencer, who is obviously playing the Turning Woods movie for her. She claims to Lucky that unless she was truly in danger, Lulu would never have tried to leave the facility. Cyrus Renault confronted Lucky, but Cyrus denied knowing about Lulu's escape, which was the truth. Lulu had awoken in time to hear Cyrus discussing with a physician the chance of becoming her uncle and moving her to a facility in South Carolina. Before her coma, she had unpleasant memories of Cyrus. Spoilers for General Hospital, family get-togethers. Now that she is safe, Lulu and Rocco Falconeri are having a happy reunion at the Quartermaine house. Perhaps understanding that her period in a coma was longer than she first thought, she welcomes him with a cheery long time no see and a bright smile. As she recovered from a stab wound that may have been caused by the explosion at the floating rib, she had thought that her hospital stay would only last a few days. The person who can tell her how long she's been gone might be Rocco, who is now 3 feet taller than when she last saw him. Since Maxie Jones and Damian Spinelli know that she entered the house with the extra key, word of her return will soon spread. GH spoilers, hot button debates. After Ava Jerome's trial, which is anticipated to end in her discharge, TJ and Molly find themselves in a tense standoff in their apartment. TJ still hates Christina Corinthos Davis for the untimely death of the child she carried for them. Molly is saddened and in tears as it seems that TJ is pressuring her to act, perhaps by filing charges against Christina. She says she would do anything for him, but that's where she stops. Molly thinks the incident to be a tragic accident, but TJ doesn't seem to agree, which causes a divide between them. Spoilers for General Hospital, I agree with you as Alexis Davis meets Rick Lansing at the courts, emotions rise. After Christina grew so upset due to Rick's incessant questioning and broke down in tears over the blame for the baby's death, a break was called. Alexis says they will just have to agree to disagree when he stands in front of the judge's bench. After Christina's cross-examination, the jury will finish its deliberations, and the courtroom will reassemble. Even though it looks like Ava might avoid any legal consequences, Rick seems more interested in making a statement. GH spoilers, a child at risk, family conflict? After Jason, Dante Falconeri, and the children chose to remain in the Quartermaine home, Jason is obviously upset. The children agreed with Sam McCall that Danny Morgan and Scout Quartermaine should not be separated from Rocco or from one another. Scout went on to say that she had expressed her desire to stay in Port Charles to her father, who had consented to the plan and offered to commute. He has already changed his mind though, and told Jason that he and Scout will be leaving as soon as he moves into the Quartermaines. Just like he did with Curtis Ashford, Drew is betraying his word to his daughter. Spoilers for General Hospital, Christina needs the truth. Christina ends up at Alexis' house with Sonny Corinthos while they wait for the jury to meet again. Although it's clear that Sonny brought her home, Christina is now pressing him for something crucial. She demands that he be truthful with her. She had earlier been tearful before the courthouse, telling her parents that Ava should be held accountable for the terrible death of her kid. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.